Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute vibrant twist bracelet. This was created by Lena's Boutique 14 on Instagram. I'm going to link her handle right here. I want to thank Lena for letting me do this. I did send her a message asking for permission, and I am super excited to be able to do this. It is a hook-only bracelet. It does not take a lot of time or bands, and I think it's really cute. So you'll need 146 bands. The breakdown is 45 of the burgundy brown right here, 18 of the olive green, 18 of the purple, 19 of the white that sits in the middle, and 46 of the clear on the sides. You will need 3 C-clips just to hold things in place and a hook. I do recommend a double-ended hook if you have one. It really makes things a lot easier. So to get started, you're going to get your hook, preferably a double-ended hook, and we're going to choose the first color, which is going to be the burgundy brown here. We're going to make the main bracelet, and then we will add these clear borders on later. So the first band that we're going to grab, we're just twisting it on like a figure 8, creating a cat band. And then we're going to still work with that same color. We're going to pull the first one through the entire cat band and then close it off. And my hands are so dry, you guys. No amount of moisturizer is fixing them, so just don't stare at how crackly they are. And they actually burn a little too. But anyway, the next band we're going to pull through the first band and then just close it off. And we're going to do that one more time to this side. So we will pull this through the first band and close it off. Slide it down and turn it around, and we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So we're going to pull this first one through the first one on our hook, close it off, and do that one more time. Bring it through the first band on our hook and close it off. If you pull it tight, it should look like that. So now we are going to choose whatever color you want to use where the white is. So it's the white that sits in the middle. We're going to pull this through the first 4. And then we're going to skip the first 2 and pick up the outer 2. Close off the white and bring it over to the middle so that it sits like that. We need to cross these 2 middles. It doesn't matter which direction you cross it the first time, but I'll explain that later. Like, we have to make sure it matches from here on out. But for the first time, I'm just going to take the 3rd band and cross it over the 4th. Like so. You have to make sure that you keep it in that order. And now we're going to choose whatever color you want where my purple is. Right here. We're going to pull this purple through the first 3, making sure to keep them crossed as you do this. So I just pulled it through the first 3. I'm going to skip the first 2 closest to my hook, pick up the outside brown, and close off the purple. We want to rearrange it so that this brown is on the outside. And it should be sitting like that. You want to make sure that that purple stays in front of the white. We now need to cross the purple band in the same direction that we crossed the white. So you can see how my left side of my white is crossing over. So I'm going to take the left side of my purple and cross that over. So cross it over and hold it into place. And now we're going to grab another border color. We're going to pull that through the first 2, making sure that they stay crossed. And then close it off. Slide it down. Turn it around. Make sure everything stayed in order. We should have our 2 borders, 1 white, 1 purple, and then our borders. So I'm going to grab a purple. We're going to pull it through the first 3. We're going to skip the first 2 bands and pick up the outer brown and then close the purple off. We need to rearrange it. Mine did it on its own. We want the burgundy sitting on the outside like that. And now we have to cross the purples again. So again, we have to make sure it's being crossed in the same direction as these 2. Everything will always be going in the same direction. See how everything is going to the right? If you flip it, they're all going to the left. But yeah, they should all be facing the same way. So I am going to take the second purple this time because we turned the bracelet around so it's facing in a different direction. And we're going to cross it over like that. And now we're going to grab a border. Keeping it crossed, we're going to pull this through the first 2 and close it off. It might look a little strange to you. It did to me at first because they're being crossed in a different direction. It looks a little weird in the middle here because the top purple band is inside of the border, whereas over here, the top one is in the middle. And that might not even make any sense to you, but trust me, this is how it should look. So we're going to start that again, all over again. And we are going to grab our white band, which will sit in the middle. And we're going to bring this through the first 4 bands. We're going to skip the first 2 and pick up the outer 2 brown and close it off. That white needs to sit in the middle. So rearrange it so that it sits like so. And now we need to cross the 2 middle whites. Again, we need it to cross in the same direction, so I always double check since we're constantly flipping the hook around. It won't always be crossed the same way, so I look down below and I can see that the right one is the one sitting on top. So I'm going to grab the 4th band, which is the right white band. I'm going to cross it over the white, like so. I'm going to hold that in place, and then I'm going to grab my next color. If you're using more than one color, you're going to grab that now, which will be my olive green, or you can use all purple. It's really up to how you want it to look. But I'm going to grab my olive green, and this is going to go through the first 3. Remember to keep those white crossed. We're going to skip the first 2 bands and pick up the outer brown and close it off. We need that brown to sit on the outside, so I'm going to rearrange it. Now we need to cross the green, so I'm going to take the right green and cross it over the left one. Hold it in place and grab a border band. We're going to pull this through the first 2 and close it off. We're going to slide it down and work on the other side. We're going to grab, I already have a green here. So we're going to grab a green for this side. We're going to pull it through the first 3. We're going to skip the first 2, pick up the outer brown and close off the green. And rearrange it so that it sits in the middle. We need to cross the green, but remember we just turned the hook around, so we need to cross this in a different direction that we did on the other side. So now we need to take this left green and cross it over the right, because if you look at all of the other ones, you can see here, they're all crossing over to the right now. If I'm going too fast for anyone, you can go in your settings. There's a little settings, what's it called? Display, I guess, up in the corner, and you can change your playback settings to be slower if I'm going too fast. So now that we have it crossed, hold it into place. We're going to grab a border. We're going to pull that through the first 2 and close it off. And that's what it's looking like. And every time after we're done laying our 2 colors, And we're back to needing the white. That is the start of our next section. So to start the section, we will pull this white through the first 4. We will skip the first 2, pick up the outer 2, and close it off. We need to bring these borders to the outside and have the white in the middle. And it's time to cross. So I'm going to look below, and they are all crossing over to the right. So I need to take this left one here and cross it over, like so. I'm going to grab my purple now because I'm going back to my first color here. We're going to pull this through the first 3. Skip the first 2, pick up the outer brown and close it off. Rearrange it. You want the border on the outside. That's what I mean by rearrange. And now we need to cross the purple. So I'm going to take the left purple and cross it over the right one. So it's going in the correct direction. Grab a border and pull it through the first 2. And close it off. Turn it around. Grab another purple. Pull it through the first 3. Skip the first 2 and pick up the outer one and close it off. Get that border sitting on the outside like so. And we need to cross the purple now. So I'm going to grab the right one this time and cross it over this one so that it's facing the correct direction as all of the rest of them. Grab a border. We're going to pull it through the first 2. Mine came uncrossed. I kind of felt that I was losing my grip, so I'm going to recross it over and do that again. I usually use my back finger to hold it in place. Pull it through the first 2 and close it. So it looks like that right now. And we're ready to start all over again. Whether we're doing the green or the purple, it's all the same steps. We're just using a different color. And don't worry, you won't have to technically memorize anything because I'll have a timestamp for you guys to follow along. I am going to do this one more time, and then I'll let you guys continue watching, and then we'll do the border. So we're going to pull this through the first 4. We will skip the first 2, pick up the outer 2, and close it off. Rearrange that to sit in the middle. We need to cross the whites. I can see that they're going in the direction of the left, so I'm going to grab the right one and cross it towards the left to match the others. We're going to grab our green now. We're going to pull it through the first 3. We're going to skip the first 2, pick up the outer band, and close it off. Rearrange it so that the border's on the outside. We're going to cross the green now, same direction. The right one goes over the left. And now we will grab our border, pull it through the first 2, and close it off. Slide it down and turn it around. Grab another green, pull it through the first 3. We're going to skip the first 2, pick up the outer, and close it off. Rearrange the border to the outside. We need to cross this green, and now that we turn the bracelet around, they are facing the right. So I have to now cross it this way, like so. Just always double check that direction. Trust me, I've had to take apart a couple of them. And now we are going to grab our border, and we're going to pull that through the first 2 and close it off. So I'm going to put a timestamp here, and you guys are going to keep following those same instructions until your bracelet is long enough to fit your wrist. And then we would do the borders together. One tip that I do want to give you is this bracelet comes out 3/4 of an inch smaller after we add the last border. So measure it around your wrist. If it fits, keep making it a little bigger. Like I said, you want to make it about 3/4 of an inch bigger than what you would normally wear it. That way it fits perfectly when we add that border. So keep watching the instructions from this timestamp here until it is long enough, and then come back and I'll show you what we're going to do. So once you've rewatched all of those steps over and over and your bracelet is long enough and you're back at this point with me, we are going to do one more step to kind of close this off up here in order to do the borders. So you're going to grab another center band, and this is the same way we would normally start the next section. And we're going to pull it through the first 4. We're going to skip the first 2, pick up the outer 2, close off the white, arrange it to the middle. And just like we were doing the other times, we're going to cross the white. Make sure you pay attention to your direction down below. And now this time, we're going to grab our border color. So we're going to pull this border through the first 3 and then close it off, and do the same thing on the other side. So turn it around, grab that border color, pull it through the first 3 and close it off. It should look like that. And now we are going to grab one more border and pull it through everything on our hook. Bring both ends together, and we are going to temporarily C-clip that, like so. I had to go off camera and get that on there. So once you have it C-clipped, we are going to grab whatever color you want to use for your final border. I'm going to use this clear. And it might seem a little weird how we're starting it, because this is not going to be anchored on both sides, but just trust the process. But before I show you what we're going to do, I want to give you a preview so you have an idea what we're going to be doing. We are going to be grabbing this band right here, right there, and then right here. It's the top of each band, but you have to go inside each loop to get it. So we're going to first grab our border band, place it on the hook. We're going to come down. I'm going to start on the right side of my bracelet. We don't start with the cat band. See that band that's making a U? That's the band that we're going to be starting with. But you have to turn your bracelet to the side. You're going to go into the middle of it and grab it like that. I kind of pull it out a little bit. And then to start it, we're going to have our clear on there already with the burgundy. Grab your next clear, and we're just going to pull it through both bands and then bring the end together. This is going to look weird at first, but just trust me, we're going to end up pulling it through the cat band when we do the other side. So now we are going to come up to the next one. So with your bracelet on the side, you're going to come right here. Make sure that this U is on both sides of your hook when you're grabbing it. You don't want to be grabbing it, say, over here. You want to make sure you're in the middle of those 2 bands, grabbing it like that. Grab another clear. We're going to pull it through all 3 bands and close it off. This part is very easy. Come back to the side. Come up to the next one. You got to get in between those 2 bands. Grab the top burgundy. And again, we're going to pull this through all 3 bands. We're going to do that all the way up. So the trickiest part is just making sure you know which band it is that you're actually grabbing. With it facing you, a lot of the times the band above is kind of closed there. So just place your hook in there to kind of separate it a little bit. And then get under there. Takes a little bit of patience. And the beginning will look a little bit loose. It looks like that on all of them, but as you get further down, it all comes together. So we're just going to keep pulling it through all three, grabbing the next one, and repeating. And you're going to do that all the way up, and then when I get to the top where my C-clip is, I'm going to show you what we're going to do there, which I'm going to be there quickly. You guys will need to pause the video and keep making yours. And then you can close it off with me when you have your length done. So I've just completed the last one that I have on my right side. And just an FYI, as you're doing it, my bracelet's really small, so you don't really see it. Your bracelet will start to like curve a little bit. That's normal. Once you get the left side border on, it will straighten out. But this is what it should look like, just so you can see that you're doing it correctly. So when you do come back over here towards the top, for some reason in all of my example bracelets, I did not do this very last one right here, the one that's connecting to the top C-clip. I guess technically I could have grabbed that one, but I didn't. So I'm just going to keep doing it the way I've been doing it. So once you are done like this, we are going to temporarily C-clip this top one as well, like so. So now we are going to do the other side, and in order to do that, I am going to have you flip your bracelet over like this. So now this side we worked is on the left side. You're going to put your hook into this cap band down here, like so. You're going to grab a hold of that loose clear band, and you're going to pull it through. I had to pull it through and then take my hook out so that I can now put my hook back in the correct direction, like that. So all we did was pull that band through the cap band, and now we can work on the right side. So we're going to come down here. Make sure you don't forget this first one right here. Go in between, just like we did before. You're grabbing the top part of the burgundy and grabbing your clear. This time there will only be 2 bands, so pull it through. Come up to the next one, grab that band, and we will repeat just like we did on the other side, but now we're going to be pulling it through all 3. Like so. So hopefully my explanation was clear. I feel like it's always a little more harder to show, or I make it seem like it's harder than it really is. That's why I stick to most loom designs, but I really do like doing hook onlys every now and then, so hopefully my explanation is clear. I don't want to let Lena down. Sometimes it can be tricky to get that band on your hook. So keep doing that until you reach the top, and then I'll show you how we are going to close it off. So I have just completed my last one. Remember, like I said, for some reason I did not attach a border to that one there. So now we have this one on our hook. We are going to grab the middle C-clip with the burgundy band, and I'm going to push my hook through that band, and then I'm going to pick up the outer clear with the cap band and put my hook through that as well. Make sure you are completely through that, and now we can take off both of these top C-clips. And I know I told you guys you'll need 3 C-clips, but in actuality we needed 2, so sorry about that. But go ahead and take those C-clips off. And now we are going to grab one more of our, wrong color, of our clear border. And we're going to pull it through everything on our hook. So there should be 6 bands on there. We're just going to pull it through, bring both ends together. And that's where our final C-clip will go. I know it's just a little teeny tiny piece that I have here, but I'm going to C-clip that really quick, like so. Of course, yours is going to be a lot bigger. But you can try to like pull it up and down to help tighten these bands in here. Some of them do lay differently. Something you can also do with this bracelet is pull it left to right, and it gives like this spacey look. It's kind of hard to see with this little piece, but it really depends on your preference. I like it when it's kind of tight together, but you'll just attach your C-clip and your cap band, which I'm sure all of you know. But that is it. That is how you create the Vibrant Twist bracelet, created by Lena's_boutique14 on Instagram. Thank you so much, Lena, for letting me do this design. I hope all of you liked it. Don't forget to check her out. Give this a thumbs up if it was helpful. And don't forget to tag both of us on Instagram if you do make one. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you really soon in my next tutorial. Thanks. Bye.